Let's start embracing each encounter. And what I mean by that is embrace every encounter that you have with someone. So each interaction that you have, whether it be a stranger or your mother, embrace every moment of that encounter. And I say that because we can take little bits and pieces from each type of relationship we have with someone, and it'll help us become the person that we are today. Let's use this example. Let's say you're in a relationship, you guys break up because someone cheated, and of course you're so angry they cheated on you. Like, how could you love me if you cheated on me? When you take a step back and kind of think about a few things, if you're that type of person, if you can bring yourself to do this, then you'll realize that, okay, you took what you could from that relationship and you're moving on with your life. There's no point of holding a grudge against that person. And I trust me, I know it hurts. I know it hurts to be cheated on or, abused verbally or physically. I know about all of that, but it's just basically like this. In order to move forward and become stronger, you gotta take what you can from that relationship and bring it with you, but don't bring the toxicity portion of it. So, hear me out here. I understand that, yeah, that whole situation with them cheating was toxic, but take all the things you learned, like the lessons learned from that entire breakup or from that relationship. So that's kind of how I view things, where, my past two relationships, one was really toxic, and of course I still care about her until this day, but I had to move forward and move on with my life. I couldn't stay in that pool of toxicity. So I took what I could from that relationship, all the things I've learned, and made me better. So that way when I do encounter another relationship, I can move the chess pieces around and do the things that I need to do to make the relationship better. So whether it was my fault or their fault, it doesn't matter. Just take what you can and move forward with your life, because it's all about self-growth and just learning from your experiences. There's this phrase that I always say, embrace each encounter. We talked about that as far as relationships go, but think about it from a point of view of a stranger. So, an example, let's say you meet a stranger, you're walking down the street and you bump into someone and, you drop your phone. That person picks up your phone and says, I apologize. You say, all right, no problem. Thank you. Have a nice day. And you're on about your merry way. So what can you take from that experience with you? Like, what can you take from that whole experience that's going to help you? And I feel like there is something in everything that you can take from and take it with you. Everyone will take something different from each encounter. Another encounter could be you go into a store, the customer's ringing you up, you guys have a little bit of a chit chat, but it's like in that very moment you can learn something that you never knew before. Because let's just say someone, relative, let's say you're buying a couple of books and some magazines or whatever, and one of them is about space, and that person says some crazy fact about space or that you never knew. So it's like, though that encounter may have been 2 minutes or a minute, you're taking something new from that whole situation or that whole encounter. It's like, wow, I never knew that about stars, or I never knew that about space. So I always tend to embrace everything, because details matter to me. Little things in life matter. It's all about absorbing as much information and learning from your experiences. It's the best feeling for me. Now, it may not be the same for everyone, but I'm here to just kind of put a little seed in your brain, and maybe that'll help you think about, how you want to view things in life. I'm basically speaking from personal experience and how I feel about things, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you would feel the exact same, which is perfectly fine. We're all different. We're all unique in our own way, so that's what makes us awesome. But it's just having me discuss this with you may put some type of light bulb off in your head, and you're like, you'll think about it, maybe say, maybe she's right, and maybe this can be some type of encounter that you have watching this video, and you're like, damn, yo, that's pretty dope. I kind of didn't think of things in that way. That's why I kind of love everything about life itself. It's amazing when you kind of analyze life or view life differently than others, because it's just amazing. And I think that's what makes all of us unique and creative in our own way. I love it. So my point being with this is embrace each encounter. How to, look at the details, pay attention to things in life. And sometimes you don't have to take life so seriously, because I may say pay attention to all the details, but that doesn't necessarily mean like make yourself go crazy trying to pound at every freaking detail of life and all that. You'll go crazy trying to do that. It's just good to kind of like open your mind and open your heart. So do what you feel is best. Just try to take a different approach on life and just look at the world around you and appreciate it all. Appreciate the air that's circling through your lungs, and the fact that you can look left and look right, the fact that you can speak, the fact that you can smell and hear. There are many people in this world who don't even have a lot of those senses, and it's terrible. But just be appreciative and embrace it all. Embrace it all, because that's all life is about, is embracing every detail and learning from your experiences, taking what you can from those experiences and building a better you. And that's all I wanted to share with you. I'm just sharing some of my personal thoughts and feelings. So, the purpose of this whole vlogging is basically just to get some of my thoughts out, to see if anyone else shares the same feelings and thoughts that I do. That's basically my whole point. It's not about getting views. It's not about getting followers. It's not about that for me. It's about just basically just getting this word and message out there and seeing whoever takes it for what it's worth. If it's basically for those who need to hear it, pretty much. So whatever I say and how I feel and I express that, and I feel free to share it with the world, then it's basically just for people that need to hear it. And if you feel like you need to hear this, or you needed to hear this, then great, I did a good job. That was my goal. But if it's not for you, then simply watch 5 seconds of it and click off. It's all good. It's all good. So you took what you could from the experience, and even if there was nothing that you could take from it, that's probably why you swiped off or you exited, because it's like, it's nothing for me. And that's okay. We gotta learn that things are okay just as is. That's my 2 cents. I just wanted to put that out there, and I hope that you took what you could from it. I just want you to embrace each encounter and take what you can from whatever you can. That's all. No pressure. Love your life. Live, love, life, peace.